Welcome to the India Joy Influencer Con 2021.
Welcome to another session. This is going to be last session of the day where we have a speaker and then we'll be doing the closing remarks. So for this session of Talk the Make It or Break It rules of content creation and monetization, we have with us actor, content creator, dancer, singer, journalist, Sri Vidya. Please give me a hand in welcoming Sri Vidya. Hey
Hello.
Vidya.
Hi, hi.
Uh, so how's it going? Acting, content creation. You've been doing a lot of things lately. How do you manage your time and energy? It's got to be
I,
challenging, right?
I think it shows in my face I think it shows in my face how I'm managing because it's pretty tiresome. But we'll wear it like a badge of honor. So tired and proud.
Yes, we do. We do not have another choice, do we? So, what got you started? I just want to know. How did your journey begin with content creation, and then
um, so I think it happened quite in phases.
okay.
Started off way before I think there was a YouTube boom. I must say, we were still doing written content. In one of the places I worked in cybersecurity, we were still doing listicle format, and we were doing blogging and all of that. And eventually, the video format caught on. And over
Yes.
there, we started to realize there was a little bit of a gap for women-centric content, or not even women-centric. It was very, women written by women, or perspective of women was a little bit lacking. Mostly because the creators were rarely there. I believe Janvi Madhavi was one of the biggest creators then in Telugu, and she was a little more of a broader content creator. She would take into account everybody's issues as well. But I think something directed specifically or targeted specifically towards women was a gap we had noticed. Not very strategically, but just because we as content consumers thought that this is something that lacks in Telugu. And of course, there were a few inspirations in Hindi, like Liapa, or there were a few things that filter copy would do. Um, so we thought, okay, this is a space that we could fill with whatever thought process or whatever sensibility we have already. From there, I think for me, that put me a little bit on the map. People started to recognize me as a content creator, as a YouTuber. That kind of it pushed my Instagram or my personal profile on my socials a little further. Over there, I got to build a little bit more in my profile as to what all I do. Besides from just being a YouTuber, and people who followed me knew that I do like singing, I do voice artistry, and I was also a journalist at that point. So I had a lot to offer in that area. And I think whoever stayed for everything that I had to offer, which includes sometimes uncomfortable opinion as well. And but I think it's again like it's a badge of honor. You should wear it with pride, whether it is taken well or otherwise. Eventually, I think I moved on to a bigger media house called Infinitum, and a little more possibilities opened up. I started to look towards OTT, look towards the growth of digital and what all possibilities can be done over here, which
Yeah.
is not limited to only acting or in front of the screen. Even in the creative sphere, it could be in the writing, in conceptualizing, and executing as well. So Tamasha with Harsha happened on AHA, and that is something I got to experiment a little with. I really wanted to see if this was a format which barely worked even pan India, even in the north or even in the Hindi
Yes.
fraternity, which is a little more. It's a little more evolved, or it's a little more further ahead. Let's not say evolved.
Yes. A few
Uh,
years ahead.
Correct. They're a little further ahead. So I was just thinking, is it time to bring it here as well? Um, Even so, it did not work in Hindi. I think Movers and Shakers was the last stand-up comedy interview show that happened, which was a really, really big success. And then nothing. A lot of people attempted it, and it kind of fell short somewhere. And we also attempted it. Let's say it was not a complete blockbuster, but it definitely ruffled some feathers, and people took notice. So I realized that that's the potential. So I've gotten to broaden my horizon little by little by little in the last 6 or so years. So it started from just being, a writer, a small icon on the top, written by so and so, to okay, conceptualized by, and all of that. So it's a nice evolution. It's very organic, and it is a learning process. It's like first standard, say second standard, say third standard, say tenth. So I got to learn step by step, and there are a few more thoughts and possibilities that we would like to explore as we go, not just fiction, but non-fiction and content creation, as well as all of that, in the position where I am right now. Wow, that was long. Did I bore you?
No, no, that was very informative. I mean, I couldn't have done it in that.
I'm sorry, is that
Okay, so Girl Formula, early YouTube channel that
correct?
you've started, and that talked about girls' issues with a little of an entertainment point of view, right? So,
Mhm.
how was that experience like?
Well, I think we have come very further away from that now. At that point, it was niche. It was something that came out of ordinary. Um,
Yes.
I personally believe if we were to recreate that now, it might not get the love that it got back then. So that is something that I don't think we would want to recreate, but I'm very glad that it did what it did back then. Um,
Yes.
so I think it's a stepping stone. Like, you need to
Yes.
learn your ABCs to learn your quadratic equations later.
Exactly.
So I think a very strong foundation for sure.
Sounds great. I actually went through your Instagram profile, and a small observation that I noticed is that you don't post reels. Is that a
No, I
conscious
don't.
thing that you do? Is there a reason for
Actually, it's not a very conscious thing that I do. It's uh,
that? Okay.
it's because I don't know how to. I just don't know how to.
Okay. I mean, you
Sorry,
have
I'm
a lot
sorry.
of content that can be, translated to short term, like 15
Yes, yes,
seconds,
of
30
course. It's just
seconds.
something that I've not attempted before, so I'm not extremely good at it. So it's not something I will say I will never do, but it's something I still have to learn, and I don't think it is fair on the formats part to do something which I'm not really really good at, especially when you have an audience who's already following you.
Yes.
So, if we are going to present something even in a new format, I think it's better to learn it a little bit and do it well while you're at it. So I don't think I'm quite there yet, mostly because I'm old. No other reason. The youngsters are much better at doing it. I'm yet to. It's like a new app that I have to learn. So I'm like really bad at Snapchat. Yet to learn. I'm still trying to figure it out. So Reels is also something like that. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's just not something I've tried yet.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. So you, like you said, you've been doing this for over 5 years now. So based on your experience, what do you think is the key to create engaging content
Um,
consistently?
I know this might not seem like a very creative advice, but
Okay.
there's a little bit of homework that I think will come handy. It's very necessary to look at what is already done, like what is beaten to death, where is a gap, where is certain kind of content that hasn't been covered somewhere. There are places where we can fit. We always know our own skill levels, we always know our own skill sets and what we are good at, and we need to coincide that with where a certain gap is, where somebody is not able to fill, or something only I will be able to fill that gap. So I
Yeah.
think that little bit of research is will really really come handy.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it happens pretty subconsciously. It's not like they will sit down and like draw out a map or do a graph about it, but they see that, oh, I watch so much content, this is the kind of content I want, nobody does it but I can do it, so I will. So it could be just that organic. But if you're really trying to put a structure to it, you're really trying to like put it on paper and have a plan as to what you want to do, I think a little research will not hurt. So figure out what other areas are doing. It's very necessary also to consume a lot of content. There are a few creators who avoid that, basically so that their creative thinking does not get interrupted by somebody else's. But I think it's for me at least, it really helps to know what a lot of people are doing, which would
Mhm.
include your regional creators, plus your national creators, plus your international creators. So we
Mhm.
know what we are up against even a little further ahead down the road.
Yes.
So, and who we are up against now. And we'll also know where are the gaps. We'll also know what we can do better, or we will also know what somebody else can't do and we can do for whatever reasons. Could be resources, skill level, or just your personality type, or a lot of
Yes.
other things. And we'll also understand where we have an interest in. We'll also know that we'll know there are certain categories or genres that we probably did not know existed before, and suddenly it opens up a new career option for you. So, like gaming suddenly has boomed so much. And I don't think, let's say,
Yes.
7, 8 years ago, somebody sitting in their home and being a very, very good video game player would have thought that, this is a lucrative career, which it is now.
Yes.
It might get a little, it might take a little while to explain to your parents how that works, but I think we will eventually get there.
Exactly. So I think I know what you're saying when you say that we shouldn't, try to uh, recreate what other people are already doing,
Correct.
because that happens a lot. I mean, Instagram Reels is full of pretty much, someone taking one, doing a joke, and then another person will just change it a few words here and
Right.
there,
Right.
and it'll be the same thing recreated again. So it
Well, I
gets
think that's
pretty
working too.
tiresome.
So it also works. So I don't know if it is beneficial to the original creator. So it is one
Mhm.
way. It is still lucrative. So
Yeah.
let's say somebody picked out a very interesting sound bite
Yeah.
and is able to make something creative out of it. And like there are hundreds of people who are trying to recreate it. I think at least the original creators gets the best credit out of it. So there's definitely a benefit to even the repetitiveness over there, at least for the one creator that is making it, right? So on this end, irrespective of what the audience might be seeing it as, or
Yeah.
liking it or otherwise. Plus, I think there is a way to induce your creativity in that as well. So if there is one way of showing presenting a certain soundbite, there's always five other ways of doing it. So I think there is one. I think I can give you an example also.
Sure.
So there is this one. I think it comes from a show. The girl is like, "Can I stay a bit longer?" And the guy says, "Stay forever." And I
Yes.
saw a reel where a girl is standing on the phone and says, "When I ask my mom if I can stay a little longer," and mom cuts the call angry and says, "Stay forever," like as if don't come home, which is
Yeah.
extremely relatable, and it is another way of putting it across. So there are ways of transforming your content into things that will actually make you chuckle, will actually make you
Mhm.
entertained. And so I think there's always a way to create content. I used to be a very big stickler. I used to be a puritan where I did not believe that short format is content.
Mhm.
But I think as I went, I also understood that consumption patterns have changed so much. uh,
Yes.
there's been a point when we were YouTubers, like 7, 8 years ago, when we were as YouTubers, um, film goers, or film audience would not consider us as actors because we're just YouTubers. It was a
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Similarly, YouTubers would be considering, let's say, the short format, the TikTokers, etc., as not content makers. So
Mhm.
it's just this. It's almost like a college gang war, hostlers versus. It's just that. But I've come to learn. I have grown to learn that anybody who is producing content in whatever short way, which was not a possibility a few years ago, I think they deserve their credit for it, and they're able to make money out of it, which a lot of other people aren't. So everybody gets their credit over it.
I mean, the word content creator itself, it includes so much that it cannot
Correct.
be defined.
I think
So to identify someone,
we had created so many definitions of it a little earlier,
exactly.
that we started to think that okay, only this is content creation. But I think we are broadening now. Frankly, even meme makers are content creators because that
Yes, they
is
are.
the people are enjoying and sharing and relating with. It is also content, and I don't think any of us are to define that it's not.
We're talking about monetization, like you said. A lot of people are creating content and making money out of it. So, uh, what would be your approach if content creation was just a means of, money making? what should be the approach of a content creator?
I think just like it should be treated like a business is what I feel.
Okay.
Anybody, especially in in the Gen Z generation, we are moving towards a not 9 to 5 job. We are moving towards a gig economy. We're moving towards a you know making money through projects or through a certain work. Getting paid
Yes.
for your work rather than paid for your job. And there's a lot of self-employment possibilities, and we need to learn those formats. So
Yes.
in this kind of a generation, in this kind of an area, I think time is the investment you make rather than money. So if
Okay.
let's say that this is the business we are going to be investing in. I'm going to be an influencer or I'm going to be a content creator. Let's assume that is a business we're building. For that, the investment is time. So it might take a little while, but there's always space. There's always a piece of cake for everybody, and you need to be consistent. You need to keep your eyes open and figure out that this is where my audience are, and this is where I need to place my strengths at. So I think that way it would be, I mean, which is why I think the younger gen has a lot more scope of trying this out, because
Yes.
basically a lot of time on your hands, and you're not running for something else. It's easier to do that. So I think if you invest, like, let's say 2 or 3 years into it,
Yeah.
you will be at the end of it, you will have enough, let's call it IP or property in terms of your subscribers or followers or your brand
Yeah.
value already, for you to start figuring out how you want to manage your income, or how you want to pitch yourself, let's say to brands, or let's say to the platforms itself directly. So I think in this case, for somebody who is who wants to build a career there, I think first they need to understand that it's just like entrepreneurship. It's not a job, and the investment for this, the capital investment, is going to be time. If I think they are comfortable with both of these things, I think they're on the right track.
Okay. But aren't you worried that, with so many content creators and content getting pumped in, that, we might reach a saturation point wherein,
Uh, there was a point we had thought like that when we were on YouTube. We really thought there would be a point where everything is already covered. We will not have anything else to put out, and yet here we are with Shanmugh. We have the top. So right now, the top series, or the top watch series in India, in the top 5 or in the top 10, there are, I think, 6 or 7 of Telugu.
yes.
So whenever we think that this is it, this is where this is as far as it can go, I think a new
Yeah.
opening opened up. Now that is just YouTube. Suddenly we realize that it's possible for a Telugu audience to make 20 million views on one video. What with our software developer, and of course Cybiscus 30 Wedge 21. So now we know that that audience exists, which we probably did not see a little while ago. So there we already broke a barrier, and that happened like last year, when we were all thinking that this is it, we can't do any more money over here. So I think there's always a new way that it will come out. Plus, that is just YouTube. We broke a barrier on YouTube. Um, then there were so many other formats that kept emerging as we went. That could be even on YouTube, on other platforms like an Instagram or your Snapchats, or your shorter formats, and the possibilities of that so much. Plus there are OTTs which have which are open to a lot more talent currently.
Yes.
I think the horizons are opening up as we go. I probably it would be too remiss of me to think that I know what would happen 5 years from now. But until 5 years, we're sorted. We're absolutely fine. I don't see a saturation point anytime soon. I'm sure we will like jump from here and there and here, but
Yeah.
I think we're all good.
I think when we talk about OTT, like the fact that India has embraced other languages, like
Yes.
anime, the K-pop, Korean drama,
Correct, correct.
I think that has been a big step forward.
I think the globalization also started, frankly, see, YouTube is like the most democratic OTT there has ever been. So I think to begin with, we've
Yes.
already started out strong. Um, from there,
Yeah.
I think all the other OTTs that are coming up, everybody there's something for everyone. So everybody can pick and choose what they wanted to watch, and even for the the regional crowd who are not very who not who does, for whom like the world cinema does not appeal to. There's always your Ahas and your Z5s and who are very targeted towards their regional content. So I think there's a little bit for everyone, for everybody. Are you getting me? My internet's a little bit
Yes,
dropped.
we are connected. We are connected.
Yeah. I'm like
So
watching that. It's
so
excellent
I'm gonna
again.
ask. That's great. Uh, so I'm gonna ask you a question like based on. So I'm not a content creator. I'm actually a stand-up comedian. So
Ooh.
the thing is,
Have I
yeah,
seen you
thank
somewhere?
you.
I'm sure I might have seen you somewhere.
I am not on YouTube yet, so
Not on
there's a
YouTube. Like, have you done like outside the shows
yes,
in Hyderabad?
I have. But let's not go there right now. We'll talk about that
I'm
later.
sure I
So
would
my
have met
question is,
you.
so the current, what do we say, the YouTube algorithm, it's supporting consistent content, right?
Hmm.
But there are a lot of art forms that cannot do that. Like
Hmm.
stand-up comedy, you cannot release a video every week or
Every
every month. Sometimes
correct.
not even every year because you never know when a good set comes to your mind. So
Hmm.
a lot of comedians usually work 3 years, 4 years to compile 1 hour, and then audience expects us to put it out on YouTube within a 1 month span.
Correct.
So what are your thoughts? Like, do you have any
Uh,
ideas?
and see, first of all, I'm nobody to advise because I don't know that life. I've never been a stand-up comedy, so I've only
Okay,
watched. So I watch a lot of stand-up comedy, by the way, both here and outside. So big fan, big fan. But I'm
okay.
not sure if like yeah, I'm not sure if
Stand-up comedy
what
is
I'm
not
saying
me.
is relevant to you guys or not. But I watch a lot of our Northy stand-up comics. So I see
Hindi stand.
I see what they're doing to keep their engagement up. They are using their
Crowd work.
Instagrams, they are using their Snapchats, and they are using their YouTubes, not just with their sets, but also with their vlogs and all of the other content they create. So, Samir, so
Yes.
what I was saying is, I was watching a
So
lot of their content. Even our Arvind Essay, right? He's one of like the
yes.
biggest comic in Tamil. So I think it starts small. Even our own, I think Sai Kiran, just Sai Kiran, he's also damn good. He's damn good at what he does. He makes sure his Instagram is updated. He's basically just rambling on his Insta, but because he's a funny guy, it just turns into content. So thing is, I think because you're funny in general, also, I think just even your daily life could be funny. I don't think you should see comedy as just a set that you perform on stage.
Okay.
Uh, for I think I watch a lot of Tanmay Bhatt also. I watch everything that he uploads, and that's because
Yes.
he has a very eventful life. I'm sure it works out for him. But I think there are a few cues we can take from them as well. So I think uh,
Like
comedy is
street,
such that
for
your
example.
comedy is such that you can create it out of any situation that you're in,
Yeah.
even like the saddest place you're in. So
Yes.
I think at some point it's okay to make money out of it as well.
Okay. So unfortunately, we are close to almost done with our time.
Yes,
So I'll just ask a couple of questions. So
yes, please.
I'm guessing people started recognizing you on the
They
street
did.
when you go out. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So, like, what has been your best experience and then your worst experience in that?
I can't pinpoint specifically. Best is always, I do. It makes me realize how far I've come when the younger lot comes to me and says, "Akka, I've been watching your videos since I was this much and all that," and I'm like, "It's just been 5 years. What this much and all?" But
Yeah.
I think it never gets old. It really never gets old because they really watch it and they really relate, which I think is the reason it stays with them. And the fact that you're able to be that little 5 minutes of impact in somebody's life, I think it's greater purpose than a lot of other things, that is something I will never get old. I will hold to my heart. I ask everybody's name. I will always remember, as far as I can, everybody's names. And it's amazing. What is awkward is when they come with their parents, and the parents don't recognize me, and the kid is super excited. They're coming in, they're like jumping, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I want your photo," and the parent is like, "Who is this strange lady? Why are you behaving like this? Should I take a picture? Why am I taking a picture?" So that's and the kid has to awkwardly explain what all I have done in my
Yes.
life to their parents. So I think those are the awkward moments. There's no worst experience, man. There can't be one. The only this thing is sometimes I get very very uncomfortable. Sometimes it's space where at times when you really don't want to be disturbed, but I don't hold it against them. It's just me. My day is going bad, so it's a little difficult to like switch to that. But I will never say no to a picture.
Great. Last question probably. Your movie, you acted in a movie Heads and Tails
Yeah.
with Sunil Gal. Can you
Yeah.
tell us anything about the movie? Spoilers, something?
I no need of spoilers. It's already out there. You guys can go and watch.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
released. It's
I'm so
released
sorry.
like
I'm
it's
so
released
sorry.
last month. Ugh.
Oh,
So it's already out there.
okay, this I have lost internet connection thrice, and this is the worst part of the session. I am.
No, no. I think it was nice actually to work again with my most favorite team. Saying is, yeah, it was great to work with the same team with my favorite team, my best friends. All of them I've been around for 6 years. We've seen each other through ups and downs, both personal and professional. So they're all like family. You always have one small family at work, and that's that's become family over the years. That's one. And second, I really think I genuinely believe it would relate to every girl, not necessarily in the situation, but in context. Uh, a lot of women will have to make choices that might not be comfortable, might not be easy, and in whatever social strata, or in whatever age, or
Yes.
in whatever point in life you are in. And it's a very delicate subject, meaning it's not like heavy emotions or anything. It's just a very chill, small people, small issues, small problems, small
Yes.
solutions. So, and that's how we made it. Also, it was very cute, and it was very small, and it was very fun. It's a small little world that we presented. So please
You
do
keep
watch.
saying small, but I keep hearing subtle. That's, you know.
However you would like to take it, but it's definitely a good watch. Please do go and watch it. It's on Z5. It's already released. It's been a month.
I am once again.
That's
Uh,
okay. That's okay. It's fine.
okay, so every time I see you, this is the first time we're talking, but I've seen your videos. I was there on the India Joy inaugural event. There
Right.
is when you speak, there is a sense of a strong feminist, talking about women empowerment, and it's great. But did you know that
Yes. What?
today is
World Men's Day? Yes, I know. Of course, I know.
thank God. Okay, no, I'm just glad that you know. I don't even care if you wish me. It's
Of course, I know.
because we don't get acknowledged. I mean,
Oh, we get acknowledged so much about this that I have to know. So if I'm a feminist, I am bombarded with, "Did you know it was Men's Day? Do you know when is Men's Day?" Babu, I know, man. It's just one date. I can remember it.
oh man, this was a lot of fun. I think we need to wrap up because
Yes, we,
we
we
are
we
out
should
of
talk
time.
again. Please do tell me when your show is and where it is next time I
Sure,
book
we'll
it.
discuss that backstage. We are not supposed to do it here.
Yes.
Let's
Thank
go
you
back.
so much. This
Thank
was
you.
so much fun.
Thank you. Bye.